Welcome to an exclusive YouTube video of the Tweet Show podcast. As always, I'm your host, Chanler Tweet. On this edition of the YouTube exclusive video, we're going to talk some NBA basketball. We got some discussing about LeBron's legacy and how he's now the all-time leading scorer in NBA history, and we got to talk some NBA trade deadlines. So, I guess with that being said, let's get started with this exclusive YouTube video. See, I thought about doing a podcast, but then I was like, nah, let's just make this a YouTube video. So I decided to make it a YouTube video. So I guess first we'll start with sort of the NBA trade deadlines moves that happened today. So there's been a lot of moves that have been made. Lots of move. A lot of second round picks just getting thrown around. It's like, here, take 5 of them. We don't want them. It's like, you just don't want your second round picks anymore? Like, that was because like Jay Crowder got traded for 5 second round picks. It's like, what the heck? You just have those? Like, NBA like picks are just like, hey, take them. Who cares? Don't want them. It's like, okay, I guess. Some teams just don't want picks, and other teams just like, we want all your picks. Just give us all your picks. Give us all your picks. Because either they're gonna like use those picks to draft people, or they're gonna use those picks to get players in the future. So it's the NBA like trades are like very unique, and like it's not like any other sport, I feel like. Because you don't see like a whole lot of like deals like you see in the NBA sometimes. That's why like the NBA is just like a very unique sport once it comes to like player and movement and all this other stuff. So the first one we got to start with, I believe, is we'll get to Kevin Durant in a second, but I think we got to start with Kyrie Irving and basically the entire Brooklyn Nets organization. So back in 2019, the Brooklyn Nets signed Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, and DeAndre Jordan to join the team. It's like, oh, Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving probably could might win a championship. Those are really 2 good players. And obviously, the first year didn't really happen that much because of COVID. They didn't make in the bubble. Neither one. I think both were hurt, and then didn't make the trip to the bubble and all that. And then the following year, I believe. That's when they got James Harden, and then obviously, I'm trying to think because like once they got James Harden, it's like, oh my god, this is like a super team. Well, how many other championships are they going to win now because they got James Harden? And then they only played 16 games together, and then once after the season was over, like together, because like obviously they got to the playoffs, and they were like inches away from beating the Bucks. If Kevin Durant's had like smaller feet or something like that, they probably in the finals. Well, maybe, who knows? They were second or basically a foot away from making it into the conference finals in a sense. And it's like, wow, how things can change from 2 years ago when Kevin Durant made that shot against the Bucks and we all thought he just won them the game. In reality, his toe was on the line, which is crazy. Then that happens. Then during the offseason, some rumors going around saying, does James really want to be there? Blah, blah, blah. And then towards that trade deadline of that season, he gets shipped to Philly. And then the Nets get Ben Simmons. And then there's a new big 3. With Ben Simmons, Kevin Durant, and Kyrie Irving. We go, all right, maybe. And then we never really saw Ben Simmons that year because of the whole mental health stuff and some other just some other stuff that he just never got to play because he wasn't healthy or anything like that. So, and then plus factor it out all in, you have Steve Nash as their head coach, because at first they had Kenny Atkins as their head coach, and they got Steve, and then oh my gosh, this whole Nets thing is just so funny. It really is. It's just that Nets organization for the past like four years has been a mess. Like, if you really think about it, it's sort of a mess. So, like I was saying, they have Steve Nash. They lose to the Bucks the following year. They trade James Harden to the Phillies, or not to the Phillies, but to the 76ers. Get Ben Simmons. Kyrie and Kevin had to play with each other. Ben's basically doesn't play. They get swept. They have like a crazy game 1, which is everybody was like, oh, maybe the Nets do have a chance. And then in reality, they got whomped. They got swept by the Celtics, who ended up going into the championship game. Then, sort of going into that summer, this past summer, I guess Kevin Durant sort of was like, look, if you're not going to like sign Kyrie to a deal or do something about this roster, I want out. And that's when everybody's like, oh, Kevin Durant wants out. What is he going to do? Who wants Kevin Durant? Who's going to make a deal for Kevin Durant? We saw these lists of teams, and one of them happened to be the Phoenix Suns at the time, and Miami Heat, and a couple other players. And then Kyrie was on the trade market, I guess. Obviously, those two never got traded during the summer. Then once the season started, we get to, or there was some kind of meeting between Kevin, Steve Nash, and the ownership saying, hey, okay, what if we figure this out and nobody has to leave? And he's like, all right, fine. If we can figure this out, I'll stay for a while. And then Steve Nash gets fired after a rough start. And then they bring in, and then one of the assistant coaches becomes the new head coach. Because like originally there were reports out there saying that the Celtics head coach was about to become the new Nets head coach. Is like, what? Isn't he suspended? Or, it was so weird. Like, it's still remarkable that nobody's come out and said like what happened there? Was he not going to be the head coach or not? I don't know. That was kind of a weird time. But anyways, what were we at? Oh, so we get to the season, and then Steve Nash gets fired. Then the new head coach, I believe, is Joseph something. He's actually pretty good, I think. He's done a pretty good job, and they're like at the 6th seed right now. And then, literally, in the span of 48 hours from the time of this recording, both KD and Kyrie are no longer the Brooklyn Nets. In the span of 4 years, Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, James Harden only played 16 games, won 0 championships with the Brooklyn Nets. Total failure for the Brooklyn Nets. Total failure. It was like I didn't even factor into the whole Kyrie Irving vaccine shit. Like, jeez, if you were a fan of Brooklyn, which there isn't a whole lot out there, but if you were probably just like, can we just have like a normal season for once? Like, not everything has to be crazy. Oh my God. Like, I just feel bad for Nets fans who had to deal with Kyrie's sort of bullshit, but I'm not going to really argue about this whole like vaccine stuff because I'm sort of like borderline because at the same time I was like, dude, just get the fucking vaccine. But at the same time, I can respect his like medical stuff. It's like, all right, if the man doesn't want to get it, that's fine. He has every right not to get it. Nobody says you had to, but it's just like one of those things. Like, your work says you have to get the vaccine, or I guess not his work, but the state says if you're going to work somewhere, you have to get it. So it was kind of like one of those is like, damn, that sucks. But anyways, because I guess probably another thing was he was probably like total anti-vax, which whatever. That's, again, your opinion. You can have whatever opinion you want, Kyrie. And then we've had what's the word I'm looking for? Anti-Semitic about posting a link to a hate to like a what do you want to call it? Basically, like a link to a anti-Semitic video about the Jews, and it's like, well, Kyrie, you probably shouldn't be posting that on social media. He's like, well, I wasn't trying to spread a word. I'm like, well, you post it on social media, and where you probably have like 1 million followers, and those millions of followers are gonna go, I wonder what he put in his little link there, boop, and then you're sort of like, I'm not gonna what's the word? What's another word I'm looking for? Gosh, I'm looking for a bunch of words. But anyways, you're sort of like spreading these anti-Semitic videos to your followers, and who, like, for people who look up to you, be like, hey man, like, I like you playing basketball, but I hate you that you think of this shit. But I don't know. It is what it is. And finally, Amazon, finally 4 months ago or something like that, finally took the video down. It's like, yeah, we probably shouldn't have that up. No dip, Sherlock. So, anyways, now we get to the trade deadline, and like, I thought everything was cool. We all thought everything was cool. It's like, oh, the Nets are finally getting back in the groove, and then next thing you know, we hear that Kyrie Irving wanted like a new deal, and then next thing you knew, Kyrie wanted out. Kyrie's going to the Mavs or going to the Lakers, which basically, if any player out there in the world that wants like a trade or wants out of their current situation, everybody just goes, oh, what if he goes to the Lakers? Lakers are the number one team. Lakers. It's like, dude, not everybody's going to go to the Lakers. This isn't, I don't know. It's so dumb. Just because LeBron James is on the team doesn't mean you can't just trade for everybody. Because if you could just trade it for everybody, it would have been done a long time ago. Not everybody's going to trade you. Not every team is just going to trade their best player to the Los Angeles Lakers. Plus, at the time, they didn't have any deals where the Nets were like, yeah, we're good. We don't want any of your shitty players. But I was going to say, if I was like the Nets GM or Nets owner, I'd be like, well, if you want Kyrie, we want AD, which I would. I'd be like, I would start there. I don't care if it's not a fair trade. I just start there, be like, I want AD. So yeah. So then, literally another 24 hours later, like right at midnight here in the Midwest and East Coast, around that rough time, Kevin Durant gets traded to the Phoenix Suns out of nowhere. It's like, wait, what happened? Like, for all the people that were like woke up this morning, go check their phone just to see any messages or emails and stuff like that. One of their notifications says Kevin Durant got traded to the Phoenix Suns, and they go, what? I'm sorry, what? So, man, if I was Kevin Durant, I'd go look at my script again and go, wait, was all that supposed to happen to me, right? I'd have to read that script just to make sure all the shit that went down with Brooklyn was actually supposed to happen. Because, like, I'm not gonna lie, if the so-called NBA writers thought of this shit, they should win like an Emmy for this shit. That's awesome. That is like full on like best. That's like some great television right there. Like reality TV, whatever you want to call it. That's some great ass television right there. NBA's got their best writers on this shit with the whole Brooklyn Nets. So now, let me just sort of break down the two trades with them. So I believe if I can find the Kyrie one, let's start with Kevin Durant. So the Suns received Kevin Durant, and the Nets received Mikal Bridges, Jay Crowder, which ended up going to the Bucks, Cameron Johnson, 4 first-round picks, and plus 1 pick swapped in 2018. So yeah. That's a pretty good trade. And then I believe Kyrie's going to the Mavs, and then the Mavs traded something Smith and I can't think of his name, but two Mavs players for Kyrie and probably a bunch of first round picks. So I'm very intrigued of how the Suns are going to play out this year, because like it's championship or bust. I feel like, don't you think? Because like if they don't win the championship this year, it's like, well, that was kind of a failure. You just wasted all your picks just to get Kevin Durant for basically nothing. Like you at least have to get to the NBA Finals to at least have a chance, obviously. But like you at least got to get to the NBA Finals, even if you don't win it, which you have to at this point. Like you just do. No, I have to look at the roster because obviously they just traded like two young, good, talented players. But I would have to think that I don't even know who's on the roster anymore besides like Chris Paul, Devin Booker, and obviously DeAndre Ayton. You got him. Does Cameron Payne still play for the team? Who else? Try to think of players who were the team last year, but like I don't know. I'm kind of stumped. Man, this is tough. But anyways, it's crazy. NBA trading or NBA trade deadlines, and then let's do some rapid fires here with a couple others. Let's see what I could find. Let's see. Yeah, like I said, Jay Crowder goes to the Bucks. The Lakers trade Thomas Bryant to the Nuggets, and then the Lakers also get Mo Bamba from the Celtics or from the Magic, and then the Lakers send Patrick Beverley to the Mavericks, or not to the Mavericks, to the Magic. Trailblazers get that type or I can't think of his name, but they got somebody from the 76ers. That's actually really good. Let's see who else. There were some rumors going on that Zach LaVine was going to get traded, which I'm like sort of a Bulls fan, but at the same time, just like, all right, whatever. So I would have been slightly mad if they did trade Zach LaVine, but like, I don't know. I gotta figure out my NBA fandom because like I like watching a lot of players. I'm more of a players guy now, I think. So, gosh, I keep Bones Highland got traded to the Clippers. Didn't see that one coming. Then we had the Warriors trade James Wiseman to the Pistons, and then you had John Wall got traded back to the Rockets. Like, dude, that sucks. You just finally got out of the Rockets, and then you got to the Clippers, which I guess I didn't really realize that he was having a bad enough season where he got his ass traded back to the Rockets. And he's probably like, dude, what the fuck? I mean, low-key, I would kind of suck if I was John Wall. Like, you're just like, yes, finally got back out. Finally got out of there. Shit, I'm back where I started. Man, that sucks. Let's see. Where were we left off? Let's see. Yeah, so the Clippers get Eric Gordon, and the Grizzlies get Luke Kennard, and the Rockets receive Danny Green and John Wall, which both those players will probably get bought out, I'm guessing. So, yeah. And then John Collins still is on the Hawks, which I feel like every time around these NBA trade deadline talks, everybody's like, oh, when is John Collins going to get traded? Well, he's clearly not going to get ever traded because every time we talk about it, he never gets traded. Just like how I feel like certain players are always on the market, but they never get traded, either because the teams never give them the right package or they just want to flirt his name out there. Be like, oh, well, we are willing to trade this player. It's like, are you though? Are you just saying that just because, or just to get some hype around his name? They're like, yeah, this guy, he's available. What do you want for him? And then they hear an offer. They're like, nah, we don't. Nope, that's not good enough. Nope, we don't want it. We don't want it. So yeah, all right. So it's pretty much all the NBA talks. Well, I guess basically now the Phoenix Suns are like the second best. One other note here: the Phoenix Suns are basically the like second odd best favorites to win the NBA title behind the Boston Celtics as of right now. So if I was a betting person, I would definitely look at some NBA futures and go look at some of the top near halves and look at some of these teams and go, all right, let me spring a little money on these futures. So look into that. All right, so let's talk LeBron. So obviously LeBron James, if you aren't aware, if you've been living under a rock for the past 4 days, LeBron James is now the all-time leading scorer in NBA history, passing Kareem Abdul Jabbar at number 1. So are we going to have to debate now? And you want me to debate myself about how LeBron James is the GOAT, that's the greatest of all time, and blah, 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 and all this other stuff? And look, I'm going to say that he probably is. I don't like talking about the GOAT conversations because, like, for the longest time, I was a Jordan guy. And then once you saw that Last Dance, you're like, oh, shit, he really is the GOAT. He's just fucking built different. But then once you see LeBron James is doing what he just did, and like I watched it live, and I was like, damn, like this man is truly the all-time leading scorer in the NBA history. And we were all like, we can nitpick and all this other stuff about LeBron and his past or just on the court, not like anything like bad, but anyways, like I almost can't defend anybody else saying that he's not the GOAT, right? You basically have to say LeBron James is the GOAT, right? Don't you think? I mean, we can have debates all we want. Like, I'm sure, like, because now recently everybody's just like, oh, is Tom Brady really the GOAT or Joe Montana? I was like, well, first of all, who believes Joe Montana's the GOAT? Like, I gotta understand, like, some old heads, like, who played against him saying that. Sure, that's fine. You played up against him. But, like, Tom Brady's got 7, bro. So, I mean, we can say that Joe Montana is number 2. That's fine. We just gotta appreciate these we just gotta appreciate these GOATs out there. We just gotta appreciate everybody's greatness. So it's so remarkable that he just did that. Once Kareem Abdul Jabbar did it in 1984, I believe that's when he broke the record. The man has been holding it for nearly 30 years, which is crazy. He had the record for nearly 30 years. And everybody's like, oh, that record will never get broken. Well, it clearly got broken. And now LeBron, who's going to probably play for another 3 or 4 more years, is probably going to get up up to like 42,000 points for sure. And Kevin Durant's like the only one closest to that. And he's like at 14. He's only like under 30,000 points. And obviously he'll get up to the top 5 in scoring because he's an elite scorer. And he'll probably, because he's only like 32. So he'll definitely play for another like 8 years. So it's just crazy stuff. Like I'll say it. I was a LeBron hater. I'll admit it. I'm not afraid to admit it. I was a LeBron hater because with the whole Miami Heat thing, I was like, he's basically a villain. Like, I can't root for a villain. And I had a friend who was a Miami Heat fan / LeBron fan. So I was like, dude, what the fuck? You seriously a Miami Heat fan? He's like, yeah, dude, I've been a Miami Heat fan since D-Wade and Shaq. I'm like, all right, whatever. If you say so, which I do believe him. I just like giving him shit. It's like, yeah, okay, guy, sure. You just say that just because you're probably a LeBron fan. And then there's another kid I know who's like an all-time LeBron fan. I'm like, dude, shut the fuck up. He's just like, it's like I don't care if he thinks LeBron is a GOAT, but like he's just like he'll like go battle he'll go to war for LeBron. I'm like, dude, just chill out. Like I don't disagree with you that LeBron is probably the greatest player of all time, but I'm not gonna get you. I'm not gonna get in an argument with you. So it is what it is. Anyways, like I said, we just gotta start appreciating these players like that have been playing for so long, like LeBron. Like he's truly playing at a high level that we don't really hardly ever see besides Tom Brady. Obviously, he played till he's like 45. LeBron is 38 and still playing at a hell of a high level. So it's just like I was saying, like I was a LeBron hater. I'll admit it. Like I said, he was on the Miami Heat, and like they just built that super team. It's like, I'm not a fan of that. That's lame. And then once he got back to the Cavs, I was sort of still a hater, but like at the same time, I was like, all right, I could live with that since he went back to his hometown and he finally got a championship ring. And then because like a little part of me got mad that he won because like I was a sort of like a fan of the Warriors watching their team. I was like, I didn't really want LeBron to beat them. They're fun. So, and then I watched like some clip from JJ Redick, who does a podcast called The Old Man at 3. I'd really recommend listening and subscribing to it. But first subscribe to mine, then subscribe to JJ's. And he was like, there's a narrative that needs to stop that LeBron James is not a scorer, which he's right. He's technically a scorer now. He's the all-time scorer. Like he just does like a whole thing about it. He does like a video about LeBron James, has all these stats and all this other stuff. And I saw like this tweet earlier that he's like, LeBron James has got like so many, like he's like top 5 in like so many fucking categories. It's crazy. Like he's the GOAT. Like a little part of me is like, here's the thing. I want to say Michael's the GOAT, and I sort of just like to be troll about like this whole the GOAT debate about, oh, Michael's the GOAT, or Kareem Abdul Jabbar's the GOAT, or Larry Bird's the GOAT, or JJ Redick's the GOAT. Sometimes I'll be like a stupid, or I just like to be a troll about like the GOAT list, and sometimes I'll just put like 5 random white dudes and be like, oh yeah, here's my list. I'll be like Larry Bird, and Luka Doncic, Dirk Nowitzki, JJ Redick, and Bob Cousy are my top 5. So I mean, we just got to step back and be like, we just got to be in the present and be like, damn, we are in an era with 2 of the best players to have ever played this game, with Tom Brady and LeBron James. Like when people thought they were in their best eras watching Michael Jordan and Joe Montana and probably other couple of quarterbacks, but they were like, damn, we are in witnessing greatness. But now we are witnessing freaking greatness with these 2. It's remarkable stuff what they're doing. It really is. Like we just gotta, like we're not going to be able to see Tom Brady playing football again. Like we gotta start cherishing these moments with LeBron James. Like we've got probably like 4 more years with him playing at a high level, and then after that, it's like what are you gonna do now? Like you just gotta. So yeah, it's still unbelievable that he's truly the all-time leading scorer in NBA history. Like I didn't ever think this day was going to come. I truly didn't. Like if you told me back in like back in like 2013 when I was still a LeBron hater that he was going to become the all-time leading scorer, I'd be like, no, he's not. What are you talking about? No, he's not. Dude, the guy sucks. He blah blah blah. I'd be like, dude, he did it. He did it. He became the all-time leading scorer, and he's on the Los Angeles Lakers. Wait, what do you mean he's on the Los Angeles Lakers? I'd be like, yeah, that happened. Man, if I could go back to 2013 and tell my younger self what's going to happen in the NBA from 2013 to 2023, he wouldn't believe half this shit. He'd be like, "What? Kyrie Irving being anti-Semitic? Kevin Durant's on the Suns? Steph Curry's got 4 NBA championships? Wait, who is Steph Curry?" You just wouldn't believe half the shit. Be like, "Wait." Then he would go like, "Wait, the Bulls are good? Wait, Fred Hoiberg's is a coach for the Bulls?" And he'd just be like, "Wait, what just happened?" Oh my god. Then I would tell him, be like, "All right," and then I would tell him go back in time, and then once I tell him, be like, "Hey, once you're 21, go to a local casino and place this bet." That's all I would do. Just place one bet. Like, there you go. So yeah. Oh man. So yeah, that's gonna be it for the exclusive YouTube video about LeBron James and the NBA trade deadline. Like I said, we just gotta appreciate these great players, regardless if you hate them or not. You gotta respect what they're doing. You just gotta respect them. And I am respecting LeBron James. I am putting my foot down, and I am respecting LeBron James. So yeah, thank you for everybody for watching this YouTube video. If you liked it, please like it and subscribe. I would really appreciate that. So with that being said, I'll see you guys next time.